in all actuality, and give him maybe some resources, I think JinJiao is going to become an even more important factor to pair up with Meteor and try to stop any of that. We are already into it, though, in the Ezreal first.
So Ezreal comes through first for LNG. To be honest, Gala's Ezreal last game, he missed a few skill shots in those fights, but ultimately, crazy damage coming out. On average, the strongest member of LNG, I'd say, in the previous game.
It's the beautiful thing about Ezreal. All you gotta do is land Mystic shots. Those numbers keep going up, Munch. Those numbers keep going up.
Certainly does. I mean, he also kind of had the biggest blunder, I would say, for LNG, where he sort of flipped it onto 4 people after they got the soul, and then, you know,
that led them to losing the game.
The game lost, yeah, so definitely highs and lows for him as well. Burdol, though, slams the Corki for Haichao. Meteor grabs himself that Lilia once again, so solid first couple of picks for LGD. I wonder if Scouts, I mean, Sejuani is up, Yone is up. You could just go like Sejuani, Yone here. It answers the Corki and gets you that Sejuani again.
Yone was banned on red side, the first ban there,
yeah,
so unable to do that combo.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we've seen just kind of be every single game is the Lucian, and that's still being up and available. That's an easy choice because you have that safety that Gala can play through from the Ezreal in the bot lane, but you have absolute pressure with Scouts Lucian.
So, 2 powerful range characters for LNG, but what kind of setup are they going to find for themselves? That Sejuani remains a priority. Glacial Prisons, not necessarily the greatest, and instead the Maokai locked in. I would assume this is going towards WeiWei. It's possible it's a Maokai support, but seems less likely.
Yeah, we have seen Hung go that Maokai support, but a lot of that setup is going to be hingent on what the support pickup is going to be for LGD, because I think we want to see what that 2v2 is going to look like down there. Right now, it's the Nautilus, so you have some really good follow-up already for LGD to go with the engages that JinJiao will do.
So solid lock-in so far. I will say, keep my eye on that Maokai and how it performs in the game. We don't see that much Maokai priority at the minute. We do see occasional Maokai picks, but not usually this early in the draft. And to be honest, I'm a big Maokai enjoyer. I think it's an incredibly strong pick. But
what's your favorite skin? Name 5 skins if you're a Maokai enjoyer.
I didn't mean quite in that way.
I'm an
Alexi Pros player. Maokai's one of the most boring champions in the game. I know.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm an AD carry, mate. I ain't got time for Maokai. His top lane bad, though, from LGD. Kennen and Cassante removed away. I wonder what Burdol's going to go blind here.
Do still see that the Rumble is up. Wonder which one is going to be willing to go with that one if it is going to be blind in any case. But I actually do really like the bot lane focus here from LNG. I try to maybe secure that Ezreal setup, but there's the Rumble for LGD.
So Burdol gets the Rumble this time around, but LNG get their opportunities to counterpick. Gnar would be available if they want to go for that matchup again, but obviously we saw in the first game, Gnar will just get pushed in over and over again. Perhaps could go for something more aggressive on the top side to try and contend with that Rumble. We have seen this matchup before. Zika will slam it. This is a Burdol signature, actually, the Aatrox. It's not really played at this split. This is a matchup that not necessarily great for the Aatrox in terms of the laning, but you can just survive the Rumble. You can certainly survive his all-ins with the sustain you get, and he has to get into the melee range. So then you can bring that Aatrox into the team fights.
Now he's going to have a lot of impact in terms of just the fightability of LNG's comp. It is the Draven here for LGD, so Shaoye is going for the aggressive 2v2.
So, Shaoye, Draven, wants to bring it to LNG's bot lane after Gala had such a good first game in terms of just getting that damage out. Shaoye really didn't get to impact the previous game that much. Wants to change that story, grabbing Draven. And also just a really great pick into Rel. Just obviously cancel out the crash down, which is fantastic. But the mid advantage definitely in favor of LNG. That might be the only advantage in terms of prio on the map, though.
I think you're really looking at WeiWei to be pretty active, either in terms of reactionary or proactionary. I think being able to play around Scout is going to be massive this game. They have to try to get this Lucian ahead and use some of the prio that can come from this mid lane, but early activity can be there. I think LGD also, on the other regard, has set themselves up in a really nice fashion to kind of stop any of these early advances from majority of their team, and they still have a lot of scaling advantages themselves too. So it's really going to come down to WeiWei and Meteor's level of play this time around. I think we saw that in game number 1 as well to some extent, but the positioning, the decision making off of LNG's slip ups were the big thing that made the difference for LGD.
Certainly were. Going into game number 2 now. Can LGD bottle that lightning from the first game? LNG lost to FBX. They've gone to 3 games in the 2 series around that one as well. Maybe they are weakened. Maybe this is a chance for LGD to find themselves another victory.
Look at that. We got some cheers. It's all synchronized and everything.
Much stronger JiNJiao than game number 1.
They like them when they're winning. All right, Munch, that's what we've understood. They like them when they're winning.
I mean, that's true of fans all over the world, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Sports.
I mean, look, LNG, they've got to step up after game number 1.
Oh,
they?
yeah.
They've got skill expression. They've got a composition that's fairly straightforward. In that you've got your clear go button. You've also got really good disengage, which might be useful, honestly, against this composition with a Corki and a Draven. The Rumble as well. There's plenty of all-in on LGD's side.
I do expect LGD to try to get a pathing. We saw what a little bit of resources can do for a Rumble for at least the majority of the game last time around, but I do expect Meteor to try to get down towards this bot lane, play through Shaoye. On the other side, it is a choice for WeiWei. He right now is matching that clear for Meteor if he's going to start there, but it is going to be a situation where he can have a choice and maybe try to play towards Scout's early game or go back to this bot lane to answer Meteor.
See what decision he ends up making on that choice. LNG, again, a team that I feel like the expectation has been revitalized for this organization. There's actually flashes in the bottom side. Gala already using that barrier, but Shaoye getting pretty chunked himself. JinJiao now sent away. And LNG sort of, dare I say, winning the trade against a Draven at level 1.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't able to really get the succinct autos there for Shaoye, so it's really rough. Now the level 2 will come through for Gala and Hung, and they will just have complete presence over that wave. So maybe try to call Meteor a little bit quicker now for LGD's bot lane.
I don't know if Meteor will be able to get in and impact that lane or not. You'd expect this wave to just be cleared by Gala and Hung.
Yeah,
maybe
kind of just want a full clear.
You could even get a reset angle here for Gala. If they can crash this 3rd wave as fast as possible, maybe Gala can just get an early reset, grab his tier, start that stacking even earlier than usual.
Would make this lane feel a lot more comfortable for Gala. And also, he's already coming off a pretty good game on the Ezreal in game number 1, even though they lost. Try to play off that a little bit more as well. But we are going to be seeing the culminations of clear, see if there is going to be any action there. I think it's going to be about if Meteor just wants to get a back off in the end of this or try to go bot lane. There is some vision being played through here, though, already by Hung.
So with the bot lane going slightly differently than what I'd said in the previous conversation, I kind of expected Draven to just win out at level 1, but LNG sort of outplayed it. It means that you got prio bot and mid for LNG, and that means WeiWei can stroll on into River with impunity and look for this crab himself. So really, really nice start from LNG. WeiWei pathing towards that bot lane to deny Meteor's influence and also grab himself that crab. Should be able to drop a ward. In fact, doesn't even need to because he's Maokai. He can drop a sapling instead.
It's a little kitty cat. Little kitty cat. Little tiny kitty cat just hanging out over there. I want to go back to the conversation, though, that you were bringing up about LNG, the kind of elephant in the room. That is a 0-6 LGD in the Rumble stage. It is a series that LNG should have been looking at an easy, clean 2-0 if you're looking at it on paper, right? They should be trying to move up to 6-1. The fact that we saw them falter in so many key decisions in that last game it's definitely made us throw a little question mark to their side here to start us off.
And I think on the topic of that as well, like, you know, I think the LNG hype really left the station when LNG beat Top Esports, right? 2-0. The thing is, that's 2 weeks ago that happened. Since that point, they managed to beat BLG, but it was a 2-1. They lost then to FPX 2-0, and then again, 3 games against JDG. If they manage to win this series, it'll be minimum guaranteed 3 games. Again, we're not seeing necessarily consistent dominance from this squad. They're showing that they still have some things to work on, still have some stuff to improve upon. Because remember, this is a team that ultimately, they don't just want to make it to playoffs. They've made it to playoffs. That's not the conversation at this point. It's how far can they go? This is a team that wants to make it to Worlds. And this is a team that has the talent that should be able to. Speaking of that talent, it's in trouble in the mid lane. Flashes underneath the tower. Scout will survive. The amount of pressure Scout has been under in this series, it's brutal.
They have to put him under pressure, though, because if he is let to thrive, he will absolutely 1v5 this game. And I think we've seen that, but we've also seen the other side of things where Scout maybe hasn't had those big, bright moments this year, or at least this split as well so far. But now he's got the Lucian. This is a prio pick we've seen run rampant around the LPL. LNG going to need to utilize it very well. We also have these objectives coming up. We have to take a look at how that split is going to go down, or if we're going to see this bot lane pressure actually lead out to LNG getting that here, or LGD.
See if it can. As WeiWei moves into the bottom side again, all in onto JinJiao. Ignite used as well. Look at that damage. Huge pressure from LNG. And Gala doesn't overcommit. They don't overchase to try and just brute force the kill for now. JinJiao knows what's going on here. Gets chunked before a fight, immediately drops a ward in the brush. Meteor is in the area too, though, so this could get a little dicey for LNG if WeiWei overcommits. They see Meteor. I think they realize this is no longer the play. WeiWei forced to flash away.
Yeah, as soon as Meteor comes around the corner and that swirl seed comes out and LNG call off the play, I like to see some reservation there, not just try to brute force the play that we were seeing them kind of brute force in the mid to late games in last game. But now we will see both junglers sprinting up towards this top side. The biggest difference right now, though, Hung is following WeiWei, so they'll have the body advantage.
So Grubs the call. Scout's there. This time around, Scout is on Lucian, not Azir. So the level 6 mark, a little bit more significant. LNG with a bit more early presence this time around. Burdol on that rumble, wants to try and contest, but he's put himself in a flanked position. And the roots hit. How did that hit? It's by a pixel. Locked up and taken down. First blood for Zika, and suddenly that top lane don't look so bad.
Those kittens are lethal. I mean, Burdol didn't expect it. Didn't even flash. Is going to go down with that one. LGD, though, on the back end of it, might be able to take these grubs away. See if LNG want to stick around for it, but a really good capitalization, and also just giving Zika in the side lane a little bit of resources on the Aatrox is huge.
Yeah, so off of tempo, LGD can grab themselves these grubs because, you know, ultimates we used by the side of LNG can't really fight at this point. So 3 grubs. Ooh, 3-shot barrage. Only a couple of seconds too late there.
We're foreshadowing.
For the third. Yeah, maybe.
As we look at this replay, though, it's the initial catch on Burdol. He just doesn't expect it. Oh, he must have been clicking on the other side of the wall there because the pathing brought him up top instead of following the path right.
Brutal. Brutal. Slight little misclick from Burdol. And that means he goes down. His Swifties have now been picked up by Burdol in that top side. He wants to dodge the Aatrox. He will not be hit by another sweet spot this game. Well, so he's hoping, at least.
No chains will bind this man. Burdol will always escape.
Yeah, just wants to get out of there. I wonder if LNG will try and go for a Drake now off the back of everything happening in the top side. The resets come through for WeiWei. He's already finished a locket. WeiWei's already got a locket for himself. He is on tanky tree.
And we've seen recently it's been all about the Leandri start, a little bit of that AP damage added in. I would say that LNG definitely needs some of that AP damage here, but it's going to be the holistic focus on the team and trying to prop up Scout Gala. I think that's a really big call from LNG and something they can absolutely rely on. They do need to find a way to have some separation in terms of where they're getting their leads. but it is going to be a consistent focus towards bot side right now as well as 3v3s a brewing, Munch.
Gala's going to try and finish off that wave. Moves on over JinJiao, the target. Needs to get clipped by the ult as Hung has just gone in and JinJiao is just gone. Shaoye chased away by Hung as the rest of the team moves in. Built-in Lullaby onto 2 here, but Meteor don't really have any follow-up damage. And that Locket getting big value as Gala dives in 2v1. He is feeling it today, and rightly so. One more Mystic Shot flashed away, but that'll be Drake for LNG.
I had to look real quick. I had to see who was playing Draven or not. It looked like Gala was playing Draven at that point. 1-0-1, stepping up consistently in both games on Ezreal. This time it works out, and LNG are off to the races with a 3-0 lead. A stark contrast to the kind of big domination we ended up seeing LGD pull around later into the game. So right as rain for LNG as we go through it, but it is something where they need to consistently keep the pedal to the metal.
They certainly do. That's Burdol using his ultimate. Oh, faking
No
the
way.
recall. Zika's going the top side. Burdol with the genius play in the top side. Fakes the recall, finds a kill.
Can we just give this man the solo kill king credit for the whole split already? Like, I mean, he's already gotten how many this series alone? I don't even know if he had any coming into it, but incredible stuff to capitalize on Zika's overextension on the Aatrox.
Fantastic stuff coming out from Burdol. He has had a series, hasn't he? He really has had a series for himself.
A series of all time, Munch.
Do you know, coming into this series, Burdol had 3 solo kills. I'm pretty sure he's got 3 solo kills in this series so far. Like, he's doubled his solo kills in this one.
It's crazy to me how much they've just been willing to throw their bodies at each other up here. But speaking of throwing bodies, we still haven't had a single dragon taken on the map for 11 minutes in. And we're going to have that next spawn of grubs. Everybody's starting to look up towards this top side to get a play going. Scouts on vision.
I mean, once again, both LGD solo laners group up to try and do something against Scout. WeiWei in the brush, though. And this time the TP comes in. This time it's the numbers advantage for LNG. Burdol, the one, caught out. And that'll be gifted over to Scout as well. Nice bit of a gold injection for the mid lane of LNG.
I seriously don't think the phrase "love him at his worst, get him at his best" has ever fit somebody so well besides Burdol this series. Incredible stuff, and then straight into a bad play, and now
Roots.
LNG
looking for another one. JinJiao with a really nice anchor toss, but still pulled straight back in and still taken down. Meteor in the mix as Shaoye is just in the middle of everyone. And Haichao now chased out of the top side. It's a double kill for Scout. That's 3 kills in as many minutes for Scout.
Oh, he angry, all right. I mean, he is tearing them a new one, and so are LNG. They should not have lost that first game of the series, and they are here to put LGD in their place. They will look to deny the grub again from them as well.
Yeah, it'll be 3 grubs apiece here. WeiWei actually doesn't have his smite available. I don't know if they can finish this in time. I think LNG is just going to concede. They're happy with 2. They've denied 4 at least, and they've got WeiWei his XP from the couple there. But also, like, I think LNG, just getting 2 grubs, even just getting the fights, even if you didn't get any grubs, I think you'd be happy with that.
Oh, we get to watch the Burdol POV here. See exactly how he wanted to approach this one. It's a situation of just being able to outplay the vision. And Burdol using it to his best, and the expertise coming alive. Rumble really showing its fangs here today. We were wondering why the ban priority had come through so much, but then we see LNG just try to pounce back onto LGD in the end.
I mean, JinJiao, good anchor to try and escape, but then Shaoye just loses his mind. Like, just walks in the middle of 5
He wanted to kill,
people,
man.
and the WeiWei punts him further in. Like, I feel like Shaoye just getting a bit too aggressive on that one. Maybe needed to accept his support's demise.
Come on, you know Draven's lore. It is all about the kills. You gotta try to get your sit at 0-1-0 now. It could have been a 1-1.
Yeah, but it's also like, with your adoration stacks, you can't afford to play that risky in early fights. You just can't. Like, unless the kill is right there for you. It's not like anyone was like 1 HP away from dying or anything. Just bit of an overstep. It's all right. It's not over just yet, but I will say it's a much cleaner early game from LNG. They are so far ahead.
Yeah, and this is how it should have been. I mean, they did have a pretty heavy advantage throughout a majority of that game, number one. It just came to those big slip-ups around the later game objective fights. We are seeing that Haichao is going to be pounced on by Scout over here, though. Oh.
Scout uses the culling, but JinJiao denies any chance. Haichao nearly went down for that one, but it is a kill onto Scout. Once again, a big focus from LGD on shutting Scout down.
The Broccoli King is back. Haichao able to get a little bit of gold under his belt and punishing a Scout that did have a 3-1 start to this one, or at least 3-0 start to it. Oh, that's huge.
Gala walks straight into it. He doesn't have cleanse. He's got barrier here. He's just gonna melt. Beautiful little swirl seed from Meteor. And that sets up for the Herald.
I'm starting to get some rumblings here. We were talking about all clean, everything's going well. This is exactly the trajectory that LNG had in that game, number one. They were consistently ahead, and then they started consistently making mistakes. Big catch out there. Honestly, Meteor's swirl seed might be one of the most dirtiest swirl seeds I've seen here recently, but LNG are going to capitalize on this bot lane as well. And
I just want to compliment LGD's willingness and ability to punish LNG when they do make these mistakes, because like LGDs of the past would not find these punishes. You know, I feel like this is definitely growth for the team and for the organization in general. Like the difference between LGD this summer versus every other, even though they're 0-6, they're 0-6 in a group against the very best teams in the LPL. Like, you know, it was always going to be a hard group for LGD. The fact that they made it here at all is already like massive improvement. This is an organization that's usually finishing in like 16th place.
Exactly.
The fact they're in this top group, and the fact that they are taking multiple top teams to 3 games, the fact they might even have a chance of winning out this series against LNG is a tribute to how much LGD have managed to grow as a team.
And again, I think you can call into question the bot lane all you want, but I think this top trio has been really, really nice to watch in their high moments, and being able to try to capitalize off that. It has worked for them against LGD so far. We'll see if it continues to do so, though, as it is still a matter of fact that LNG will have a lot of team fights set up. They have a lot of spacing and a lot of consistent damage to back it up. LGD are going to be looking for these in-betweens. Moments like that just now against Gala. Moments that they can catch somebody out in the side lane and utilize the strength that they have to kind of pounce on a singular member.
Pressure from LGD on this bot. Tier 1. Haichao desperately trying to finish it and will be able to do so. Tanked a couple of tower shots, which weakens the potential fight for LGD. And Scout will be able to trade it on the opposite side of them. I feel like all series long, every single time we see LGD take a tower, Scout is somewhere taking a different tower. He's on 2 items already. He's over 1,000 gold up in the mid lane. It's a different game, isn't it? Because game number 1, Scout on the Azir, fell behind early, managed to stabilize a little bit in the mid game, but didn't really manage to have the impact he wanted. And there was a huge focus for LGD onto shutting him down. And while there has been a similar focus from LGD this game, not quite to the same level, and it's not worked out because Scout got so many kills in those early skirmishes that he's still monstrously ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he's already on 2 items. Didn't even have to get the brown picker bags upgraded. Oh, JinJiao.
Well, that's a freebie for Gala. Nice little present there. That's, maybe deal
happen
happily
so many times. Feels like a little bit of a rough moment from JinJiao. We've seen it a couple times now already in this series, but just getting caught in transition. That also means that some of your frontline engage is going to be a little bit rough. Okay, he sneaks out. He's Splinter selling it, you know?
Yeah, I think he wanted to try and find a 1v1 with Scout, but no way out there. JinJiao.
Oh, the vision play.
Nicely done by Hung.
Yeah, he's using the little lip right there with the rock to not be seen, and really, really nice stuff there. LGD, though, they're looking to get mid lane prio because we do have that dragon coming up. Would be a second one for LNG. They are setting up plenty around this, though. TP going to be coming in.
Roots have come through, as is the Rel, the Metal Horse, setting up for Scout to take them down. The Light Slayer, and here comes Zika to impact the backline. Meteor gets a 3-man sleep, though, and a chance to turn things around. Burdol dives in alongside him. Scout burns to death as well, and LGD have miraculously found their way into the fight. The charge in the middle of everything from Burdol as the tower goes down. How the hell have LGD got away with that one?
What is happening on my screen right now, Munchables? LGD are pulling fights out of the brink of nothing. The fact that they get the turret, they get the kills, they're able to take a charge into the tier 2 there as well. And off the back of that one, they're going to take the dragon to deny the early stacking from LNG. Where has this LGD been?
They've been struggling. They've been battling through Group Ascend. They've not been able to find a series, but now 1-0 and finding fights. Maybe this is their moment.
They actually can't get the pick off there. And Zika, I mean, he comes in and is big, but they've already found the big lilting Loba. I mean, this is multiple games in a row now that Meteor is making a massive difference. And the fact that Burdol uses the Rift Herald in the midst of all of it to save his life. Massive plays from LGD. And again, they are taking LNG to task.
Crucially for Burdol there, not only does he save his own life jumping in the Herald, he then pilots the Herald into Zika, gets the knockup so Meteor can get out off the back of his Seeker's arm guard. So, like, you know, it looked like Meteor had been betrayed for a second there, but Burdol, master of ceremonies it seems, master in the moment at very least. Shaoye stunned up, rooted up, and it's another blunder from LGD's bot lane.
It goes back and forth, it ebbs and it flows, and Shaoye will find a bit of a gray screen. This means LNG can start up the bear, and they have Zika around the other side too.
This will be heartbreak for LGD if LNG can just grab Baron here. LGD looking like they want to fight, but it's 4v5
They haven't seen Zika.
Here.
Oh no, the news!
LNG. Zika comes behind the roster. They can't quite finish the kills. JinJiao low. Burdol diving onto the backline himself, but he doesn't have the damage. And LNG, they play it well. They hold on. But they can't get the Baron, so actually, a support on the top laner to deny Baron, I'd say it's probably worth.
Oh, I love the foreshadowing right now. They're looking to see if Shaoye wants to get an angle for the whirling death there, but nothing else is going to come of it here. But a really, really good sacrificing of the bottom, a little bit of martyrdom for LGD, and they will stave themselves off that big Baron push that LNG were looking for.
Boy, it's tense, isn't it? And the gold is not far off of even, about 1,500, I think. There's LGD doing their best. Gala almost goes down from the combo of ults there.
JinJiao is actually Spider-Man saving the day right there for Haichao. He's about to get engaged on by Zika. Does end up sacrificing a couple bodies there, but as we see, the Baron can't be finished off. And LGD, it's a shocker to even see them in a position like this. I think that's the coolest thing about this whole series so far, is we've begged the question to LNG, you've got to put them down as they have been. And LGD have said, no, we don't want to.
And I feel like something quite exciting about this is we've been talking about the jungle matchup and the mid matchup, but actually this is just all about top lane in the series now. Like Zika 2-1 and 6, he's just on the brink of 2 items there. Same for Burdol, 3-3 and 1, just on the brink of 2 items. I feel like both of them have the picks and the power on them to potentially carry something.
Hung
has found a flank. How the hell did he get there? JinJiao is found. And forget the top laners, I guess it's about the supports after all.
We saw exactly this happen last time. They were willing to start up the Baron. Ooh, Haichao getting a decent amount of poke on the Gala there in the end, but it is a massive catch out, and Hung finds another one!
That's a bit of an aggressive position from Haichao, will be punished. Zika just pokes him to finish the kill, and with 2 down, that's an opportunity for Baron for LNG. Will and Death does a good chunk. Burdol's in the area too. Equalizer can be extremely valuable in a Baron pit if Meteor can get it too. There's the Equalizer going down, but they just jump onto Meteor. He was on a ward. And LGD, one by one, being picked apart. Shaoye trying to move in here. I don't think there's much to be done for LGD. JinJiao spot on the sapling. Just vision dominance and punishment from it for LNG.
I'll just say a little bit of questionable decision making from LGD across the entire board here. Look at this flank by Hung. No vision up here whatsoever. And that is something that you cannot have, especially with the setup that LNG has. And not only does he find this flank, but afterwards he also finds the mini flank over onto Haichao as well to follow it up. And Hung is giving them a run for their money here.
The first one is a fantastic play from Hung. The second one, I've got to say, I feel like Haichao. Like, object permanence, man. We know Hung is over towards our red buff.
There he is again, Munch!
Oh, God. Burdol now oversteps, and LGD, it feels like this last couple of minutes has broken the mental a little bit, overstepping across the board. And LNG might just be on their way to evening up the series now.
Have you ever seen Hung and Michael Myers in the same room together? Because he is just appearing behind people, even though you do not think he has the speed to catch up to them. It's looking a little bit like a horror movie now. LGD consistently finding some rough decisions.
That is true, but I've also never seen you and Michael Myers in the same room.
True.
So
I've never seen you and Michael Myers. Oh my God, we could keep this going all night. It'd be great.
Tier 2's traded here. As, I mean, in terms of gold, it's definitely all LNG right now, but LGD, at least they get something off of the back of their, I can't remember who was caught out. I think it was Haichao was caught out on the bot side, maybe it was Burdol, I can't remember. But LNG, I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, that these last couple of minutes have gone so badly for LGD, and it's just off of silly little mistakes. It's not even like a big play. I mean, you know, Hung's flank was like a really nice thing to see, like really heads up play from him. But just like silly little mistakes from Haichao getting caught out, and then I think it was Burdol getting caught out in the bot lane as well. It's just, you don't want to see it. Here we go, TP play onto Scout. It's just the bread and butter play at this point for LGD. The Scout just dashes away. Haichao will be able to finish the job. So there we go, a pick for LGD. What else can they find?
At the top of the playbook today, when LGD came into the coach's room in big, bold letters, they say, kill Scout. And they have done so consistently now, trying to put him down as best as possible, taking advantage of the side lanes there as well. Biggest problem is you're going to be on like three and a half items now for all the carries for LNG. It's going to be really, really difficult to fight these fights. I think you still have the momentary setup that Meteor brings with the lilting lullabies, but we're seeing those setups come a lot fewer and further between now.
I do find it funny that Zika just cleared that ward. It's like, there's no TPs up on LGD. That ward's done its damage. Like, you may get the 10 gold, but let's be honest. Clear of that ward ain't doing anything for you now. It's already happened. Scout went down. That was a little shutdown towards LGD as well.
Do you think
gold gap is not that big.
Yeah. Do you think he messages Scouts like, hey, I got revenge for you, I got the ward?
I got you, bro. 2,500 gold power play offered Baron. And I don't know. LG, do you know, I still don't think this is over. Like, LNG are in position to win this game, absolutely. But I could easily see the world where they just fumble it, where LGD managed to find a play. Maybe it's another side lane pick on Scout. Maybe it's Hung overstepping. I don't know, but I mean, we saw just absolute madness from LNG in the late game last time around. Like Gala going in 1v4, trying to make the hero play, and that sequence ended up losing in the game. I can easily believe the scenario where LGD do find their way back in.
I think the most disappointing thing is that we were seeing the literal representation of the story we've been building for LGD, where you have to take this top trio at their best and at their worst, and we're seeing some of the latter maybe here in this second game and some of the decision makings and things. I think consistently Shaoye and JinJiao have had some troubles, but they've been able to be pulled up by a lot of the rest of the team, and now LNG fully taking advantage of that. They have had consistent vision control all over LGD's side of the map, and it just makes it that much more difficult for LGD to step out anywhere.
Yeah. I will just quickly mention as well, in terms of items, we've got 3 for Gala, we've got 3 for Shaoye, but 2 QSSs picked up by Scout and Gala. They do not want to be locked down by the sleep coming out from Meteor. Full respect for that Lilia. That's 2,600 golds worth of value that Meteor has made LNG commit into defensive items right there.
That's a lot, actually, but hey, you gotta pay respect where it's due. And I think there's a little bit due for LGD to get back in this game, because if they do want to pay that one up, it's going to be a tough climb. LNG, though, I think they have a lot of decision-making power here. They can obviously start off any fight with WeiWei, but I think Hung has been the big unlocking factor on this rel, and we see that being the case here, too.
JinJiao hooks himself to safety. This time not caught. He's had a pretty rough series, it has to be said. I think JinJiao overall, a player that this year, I feel like he's had some really big series. Oh my god, Gala just goes 2v1 and he wins it as well. Shaoye down. Gala has reinforcements and Zika's not stopping anytime soon. Charges in towards the backline and sets it all up. Beautiful fighting from LNG. The game is over. Gala has had enough. The hard engage Ezreal. It didn't work in game number 1. It works this time around though.
It absolutely does. Him and Scout combining for a masterful game 2. This is the LNG that needed to show up. There's still some big question marks to finish it off, but it's big.
They even up the series. We're going to 3 games. My goodness. It wasn't clean. It wasn't a perfect game, but hey, it was a good game from LNG. Couple of little mistakes here and there, but overall, some fantastic play coming out from the team. And I wonder who grabs MVP for a performance like that, because I feel like it was quite a quiet one, generally speaking. I've got to say, I feel like Hung had some really, really good fights. His Rel flank that's set up for the Baron play, like, just in the team fights, landing most of his Rel combos, like even down to the fight where Scout got the 3 kills. A lot of that was Hung with the setup.
The amount of animosity that Scout had to deal with in the first 2 games, I think all of it combined, maybe just earns him the MVP game 2. I mean, that is literally the strategy number 1 right now for LGD, is to focus down Scout, but he was able to overcome that in the second game. So it'll be really interesting which one I think gets it. I think they both had some really, really good moments. I think WeiWei even had some big moments in terms of the Maokai setup, something that into the Lilia we have seen kind of fall behind as well, but being able to stay pretty proactive with that one. And unfortunately, maybe some of the comfort for LGD not really coming in clutch.
Yeah, LNG managing to win out game number 2. We're going to jump into our 3rd game, so